What's up, Matheson? Look, Will made it. Maybe for a little bit, hey? So, trying to get stuff situated right quick. What's up, James? Make sure we are golden. Yeah, we're green. Good deal. Yeah, I think on this side it's showing Matheson is first, if I'm saying his name right. So if I butcher any names, make sure y'all tell me. Otherwise, I'm going to keep butchering it. What's up, Dale? So I did cheat a little bit, but I'll show you. I'll show you. I didn't fully cheat, but I started looking at things and I was like, probably not going to be able to do that on the camera. So it definitely was not that TYWE3S module on the pin spacing. So just a real quick recap. Let me turn this phone on Do Not Disturb. So real quick recap for the ones that maybe didn't see things yesterday. I was working with Lynn on that TreatLife Dimmer, and we totally tore the thing down to the board. Kind of old school, like you'd have to flash it using the FTDI adapter, USB, etc. You can, I have done one with Tuya Convert on it, but the problem is, and it does work by changing two of the pins to GPIO 15 and 13, I believe, much like the Costco dimmer that showed on the Tasmota wiki, because it does use the same module here. And you just changed GPIO 15 and GPIO 13. And it does work with changing to the Tuya Dimmer module, except one problem is the LED, and I don't know if I had the other one that's working in the box. Yeah, you have, Paul, we had the link for the MC. Oh, the other MCU. Okay, the second one. So here's the one we didn't take apart. This one actually has, I did Tuya Convert on this one. And let me make this window a little bigger because we shrunk it last night. So here's the dimmer on, we took this one totally apart and everything. But this one actually has, I did this one over to your Tuya Convert and worked fine, put Tasmota on it, except the LED in the bottom, it blinks red, like it pulses for like 3 seconds, then off 10 seconds or something like that. And it looks much like when you do a Smart Life Tuya one and you put them in if you've ever added them to the app, there's an AP mode if you click on the top right in the app. And it does a slow blink. It'll tell you, like, make sure it's blinking slow, and you hold down the button on it, and it'll, like, for like 5 seconds if it's a switch, or I think if it's a bulb, and you do the on-off procedure again, and it'll go into AP mode, which is much like Wi-Fi Manager on Tasmota. And they added that mode probably to deal with a lot of people have devices, different Wi-Fis, where the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz run the same SSID. And of course, it wouldn't pair, so they added that AP mode where you just go in there and connect, and you're actually connecting to the switch or the bulb, and it dumps your Wi-Fi off on there, and then it puts you back on yours. So I think that's what it is. That secondary microcontroller is thinking it's still in AP mode, so it's probably waiting for a packet upon boot that says, hey, microcontroller, we're good. Wi-Fi is up, we're connected to the cloud, and just do the white light when the light is on or off. So in order to find that, we have to, Lynn was nice enough, I don't know if he's in here tonight, Lynn was nice enough to send me one uh, that wasn't done with Tuya Convert, so we could, actually I have this one paired, well, the chip is paired. It's paired with the Tuya Smart Life app, and another thing, it didn't upgrade on the firmware. So we will do some packet sniffing of it, and oh yeah, okay, Paul, and we just do some packet sniffing of it and see if we can look at all the packets coming across. Tony, you rubbing it in, it's Friday, huh? Well, at least it's Thursday night for us, right? So, but at least it's my Friday because it's my Friday off. So it's definitely a good Friday. So I don't have a hard out tonight. So um, so we didn't get to finish. Then we drug it on long, as apparently. And what I did, and I cheated because of the spacing, is I you can see on, I know these are not orientated, the orientation is different. So maybe we can do this number slowly and drag it back over. So this pin spacing on these, on this different module is super tight. And I was looking at it and I was like, man, that's because my camera is mounted to my magnifying glass, and I usually use that to steady my hand. I'd be shaking the camera, um, and those pins were super tough to not get them to bridge. So I did solder just the TX and RX lines, and what I'm going to do is right here we were able to see. Get ground in 3.3 volts. So I'll just tag in 2 lines in there, and I know you're probably thinking, wait, what about GPIO 0? GPIO 0 is on the bottom left if we need it, but I'm hoping to do is grab this packet and everything, and then we'll run and hopefully we'll test it. I have on this other one that has Tasmota on it, and see if we can get this one working. Then we'll Tuya convert this one, and then I'll probably have to replay my video from last night and to put this thing back together because it has several different pieces and parts. So Kynar wire, as I'm saying it, if I'm saying it right. What is Kynar wire? I hadn't heard that one. Oh, it's like really small wire. Is that what you're talking about? Ah, okay. Well, what I did is I just took, yeah. Well, I was more worried about the bridging of actually, because I tried to put a little bit of solder on there and didn't want the solder to wick off of those that they already had. So I just had to put a little bubble of solder, and but it all worked out. So we should be able to tag into these other ones. I'll probably just come up from the bottom and fold it over, and we'll stick a little bit of solder on it. So um, damage near ground. Probably you talking about it's probably a little bit of the flux that is still on there. I haven't cleaned it off yet. You're probably looking at, let's see, that little burnt spot, and that's just out on the green of the board. It's not going to hurt anything. And it probably would clean right off if I put some alcohol on it or something like that. And it does look like it's kind of close. It's kind of hard to see, but I did pin it. I did ohm it out with the meter, and even visually looking a little easier. I know you can't get much. That top pin is not bridged. So, and they're not, I ohmed everything out and nothing is bridged to itself except, of course, the 2 VCC pins that we found yesterday. Where was it at? the VCC and the 3v3. There was pins 1, 2. It was pin 1 and 4. So, what's up, Mark? See a lot of familiar names again tonight, which is cool. So I guess let's get right to it. Let's see if we can power this booger back up. I'm hoping to see we can power it up over 3.3 volts and it should come back up in the Tuya app. And again, I just be off frame a little bit because of the way the camera angle is and where I have to solder, but that's no big deal. Yeah, it's going to be the factory Tuya app. Yeah, because because basically what we'll do, and that's kind of what I had, and just to backtrack, what I had to do with that original, which is the same style, the original dimmer, was, of course, I immediately flashed to the Tasmota and tried to use a relay and everything. Of course, wasn't finding at PWM, and that was back October, August, or something like that last year, and so then I saw a post, someone talking about another dimmer that had a different microcontroller with serial communication. So it got me thinking. So I had this, that was before Tuya Convert, and I was backing up the firmware on things. I put the stock firmware back on it and decided to sniff the TX and RX lines using the documentation. They talk about this using 9600 baud, I believe. It was TY, and it was serial. I think it was serial communication. They actually had the serial stuff all on their website, and actually they broke it down, all the packets and everything. And let me move this out the way, right? Well, y'all can still see. I know I'd found it before. But it was the serial, and that's not the document. I have to find it again. Or if someone else finds it. Every packet starts with like 0x55, 0A or something like that, and then there's a checksum, and there's a dimmer number, and they break it all down exactly how it all works. I guess y'all talking to yourselves. Let's see. Tuya API. That's all going to go to there. But regardless, we'll see if we can figure that one out. So, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna fire up the soldering iron, and let's move. We'll move this a little bit. And I will fix the focus. Yeah, Tim, this is part 2. Let me fix the focus here. And all right. So I already have some pre-tinned, just what I did, just cut off some jumper wire, just your regular jumper wires. And we'll put this in and see if we can get these soldered in right quick. So bear with me and see if I can do this on camera at the same time without messing up too much. So 3v3 is the bottom one. You can definitely see why I did this. Will that pass through? I may have two. There we go. All right. And we'll do ground. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this, Will. We're talking about, not sure what to add. Whatever that, we'll see what that does, Will. I clicked on, since you should be able to approve some of those links now, Will. I set you as a moderator on there, so. I know we talked about that earlier. There you go. Look at that. You can post a link. And it usually will show if there's another link. Like I guess it'll show for you. It'll say show and hide. It'll say show or hide based on a link. But it normally won't happen. But anybody posting any porn sites or anything like that. So it just, yeah. Will gonna kick me out, right? Will gonna take over. It's his evil plan. All right, so we'll see if we can get ground in here at the same time and just hit them both. Same shot. All right. Everybody's about that. I see a lot of stuff about the Proxmox lately. I guess I don't have any I would have to get some different hardware or run Proxmox in a VM to play with it, right? Would that break the internet if I ran Proxmox in a VM to run VMs? I'm on the Unraid train. I've been on that for a while, so even before I knew what Home Assistant was. So we'll see here. It won't be shaking too bad. Well, let me turn the temp up a little bit. Without bridging these. I got the other one turned now. There we go. Hard to see and do it on camera at the same time. I'm used to doing this closer. Still like it's not having enough heat, but we'll see if it's stuck. Did it stick? I just need to stick temporarily. Yeah, it's stuck. That's all I need. It ain't gotta be pretty. That one worked much better. All right. So what we've been talking about? What's up, Comp Neo? Yeah, you gotta. Comp Neo is one of the, you say, kind of one of my locals. somewhat local. So let's see, FTDI adapter. Let's see if we can power this thing up and see if the smoke doesn't come out, right? No blue smoke. No blue smoke. Yeah, let's not. There one live stream on a previous laptop. I lost the whole USB bus after trying to back up a switch or something like that. So let's back up here. And a whole full PC. Well, I almost smoked one. It just rebooted and I smoked the switch. But that was me being an idiot and hooking things up when I shouldn't have. So let's see. The top one, which is orange, is the TX. Let's see if we can put this in a clip so we're not tearing stuff up. We'll turn the iron off. So orange is TX. Next, that goes to RX. And then yellow goes to the TX. And then make sure red is 3.3 volts. And green is going to be ground. And fingers crossed. All right. Plug in the iron. Unless I'm missing something. So let's see. Let's plug this into USB. All right. We got lights and we got flickers. So that's a good thing. And let's see. I don't know, it's rebooting here. Restarting. It keeps dropping. I wonder if I see it. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's going back and forth on and off. I know. Why is it doing that? Let's try a different port just to make sure. If I have another one that's not being used. Yep, I was hoping just to power it up using this. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And this one has more power. So I'm wondering, what can I use? I'm thinking here. How about we try this? I think the voltage regulator on a Node MCU would be. What about the second 3V pin in the Tuya package? No, that one's bridged. From VCC to 3V3, that one's bridged. So let's try it. Let's see if we can do this. I need to find, I'm looking for a USB cable. Of course, I don't have one. I can find one. Wasn't prepared to do all this. All right. Yeah, that's... We ain't setting it 5 volts. I know that is not gonna work. We ain't doing that. Let's see. Did it even come up? I don't think it did. Yeah, I've used that FTDI adapter quite a bit, so I know the settings on it. I'm gonna be nice and not set y'all's Googles off. Turn on my USB. So let's see if we can get power off of here. This will give us enough juice. But then we need to split the ground though. I'll still need ground for... Let's just see if this comes up. I guess that we'll cross one bridge at a time. Yeah, and that was a problem before in the previous version because there wasn't enough power to power up the secondary controller and you had to disconnect it from the front plate. So let me check my Unify controller and see if we came up. No, nothing sketchy, Matheson. Come on. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, this works. Because I'm looking at the bottom of it, and I can see the LEDs on the bottom and the dimming levels on the bottom as I change it. So oh, you can see the RxTX flashing. I don't know if I have that plugged in yet. Oh, I can. No, I think I'm gonna have to split the ground, but I want to make sure and have on the same ground though. I don't want to be crossing the ground here. So let's try this now. All right. And if this comes back up, then what we'll do is I've got a jumper I can split the ground with. Yep, looks like it's up. I can see the LED on the bottom. And let me see if it's pingable. 10, 1216. Yep, and we are pinging. Good deal. So let's do this. We'll take the ground off of here. Put the ground on here. And I need one more jumper. And of course, the other one I have is cut. The other one's behind the screen. All right. Let's go for black. And we'll really see if the smoke comes out, right? So if the stream stops, y'all know what happened, right? This is ground. And then blue's gonna go on ground. All right, let's see if we can fire things up. Yes, a bench. I was actually thinking about that today. It'd be cool to have a little AC DC bench power supply. So, all right, let's plug this thing in and we'll see if we get a bunch of disconnect noises again. All right. Check twice, plug once. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see if we are back up. Yep. I don't know if you can see I don't want to touch things. We've got it working, right? You see except for my hairy leg, right? Let's see. If you can see it flickering. Yep, there it is right there. What I'm doing right now, I'm hitting, as you can see on the phone. You can see in the corner of the phone, I'm hitting. You can see the message. That's the message going across, and you should be able to see the dimming level when you slide it down. It changes the dimming level. So let's see if we can grab those packets, and we will use. I gotta move this out the way, my mouse pad. Okay. Yeah, actually, I do have a power supply that I could use from an old computer. Well, I thought about doing. I think Doc did a video on it like way back, I believe, too. So, and actually, I had one. I was using the 12 volts for a lot of stuff with my 12 volts. So, there's let's get this out the way. We'll shrink this a little bit. I want to say it was RealTerm. I haven't downloaded it on here. I've used RealTerm before. So we'll run RealTerm right quick. Yeah, you can use putty. I've just liked some of the view on RealTerm, Matheson. So let me fire at RealTerm here and I'll show it to you here. this is the same one I've used. Yeah, you can use termite. I got an error on the trying to run that. I don't have it installed, so let's see. Because it has different formatting. I like the formatting of it and the colors and stuff like that. Did I miss the download link? Oh, look, right there in red. It's going to send me the same spot. RealTerm. Let's just do the setup this time. Well, we'll just sign wrapper again, sure. Let's see if that'll work this time. There we go. All right. So, I hope we can make that bigger to see. You can see some of it coming across right now. Let's see. I can make the text bigger, but I don't know. Can y'all see that? Or is it gonna be too small? That we do this. We'll do duplicate. And I'll just try and make this bigger. There we go. See if I can make it even bigger, Joe. We'll see if we can change the font size here. It looks like it's a bunch of garbage right now, but you can see the lines coming across. And I'll make this smaller right quick, or move it down. So, all right. So, according to the documentation on Tuya, you need to be set at 9600 baud. So we'll go to 9600 baud, and it is 8N1, and apparently because it's receiving something, we are getting data across. And terminal font at the bottom, you saw it? Display probably, huh? Oh, there you go. Let's do, let's see if it lets us do 14. No, it looks like it's hard setting this at 9. So, but let's see if we can get some packets coming across here. If it changed on us. All right. So if we do actually change it to hex with spaces, and you can see now, that's the keep. I'm gonna call it the keep alive packets. That, remember I was talking about the 5AA 00 there, that 00, and there's the FF on it. Well, let me see if I can find, and you'll see that same packet over and over and over, and that's like that's just a heartbeat packet. So let me see if I can find this right quick. Yeah, exactly. And you should have saw that in the Tasmota console. They wasn't spaced out like that. So here's the serial API. I know this is going to get big on us, but because I made the window huge. But you can see on this, see where I got set to 9600, 8N1, and if you look down, there's they talk about the heartbeat detection. So there's that 55 AA0000FF, and so that's probably actually what we're seeing is that's the ESP8266 sending that back and forth. The hex plus ASCII, I know I've used a couple of them. I think it might do the line. Let's just see what it does. Looks like it's spacing it out more. I think it's going to keep rolling to the side though. When I was doing the dimming values, I was changing it to different ones. So what you should be able to see, if I'm thinking of this right, I just turned it off. So if you take that heartbeat packet out, we pull up Notepad++, and we're going to bring it over here. And we know this is the turned off packet. And we'll take this off, because that's the heartbeat packet thrown on the side of it. So yeah, I know we have to switch the RX and TX pins, because I want to say this is the response we're getting back. And I had to do this previously, was you had to flip them around to see which one, one of them was going to, because you're seeing one side of it. Because we're actually not sending anything, we just want to switch the pins. I want to say that's the response back from it. So this is the send, my bad. Because where it says in here Wi-Fi module sends 55 AA0F. Makes me wonder if we just sent, it says after the MCU is powered on, it returns 00 for the first heartbeat packet, and a second later after receiving the Wi-Fi module is automatically initialized for data synchronization. For example, Wi-Fi module sends, the MCU returns the first packet. It's almost like if I wonder if it's really looking for this heartbeat packet. See, the previous model didn't care. Yeah, they've changed, this is the document I was in a while ago, they've changed this. Yeah, that's the response. And see, you can do a reset of the module. But honestly, if we just really need to capture all of this, yeah, if we capture all of this is what is what's sending from, because I'm gonna start, you'll see more of it starting to fill up if I take on here and we turn it back on, and see, you can see more of it fill up. And then here's the dimming value, and you can actually, the dimming value is the last bit in the packet. So like 5AA, this one here, you can see that's a dimming value. This is actually the dimmer ID. Yeah, we can do some trial and error. I'm gonna look at my old code. When I first did, it was in, I'm gonna pull it over there in a second. I should be able to see it. This was the, you can see the difference here. Is this what we were doing? This was the Tasmota light driver that I had modified a while back. Hey, what's up, Doc? Dr. Jeff. You can see this is what we were sending the dimming value, and see that 55. And let me bring this over here, and you'll see it's exact. It should be exactly what it was. See 55, 06, 08, 03 is a dimmer ID, 02, and then the C1 is actually the dim value of it. And if you do a conversion of hex of C1, you see the decimal value is 193 out of 255, and that's about where I'd set it at set the dimming at, was around 75%. So you kind of can see real quick of how this thing works. Is yeah, exactly. From that working with that switch the other night with that guy on Discord. And so what I want to do is we'll clear this, and we'll capture all the packets. They have a cool little thing, you can capture this to a text file for you, and that's pretty cool. Which is, and I like how, like I say, I like the breakout of this in RealTerm versus trying to do it in Termite, because it's just kind of I tried it with Termite. It was kind of a pain. So the Termite's great for setting it up like Tasmota or something across serial though. So what we'll do, you want to hide hex CSV. I don't know, we'll see what it does. Let's see, we'll send it a packet. Yeah, look, it sends out garbage. That's going to be as the values. There's straight up hex, might be a little easier to see. I just like the hex space, sometimes makes it easier to see when it's spaced out. So that's just me hitting on and off. So let's do a reboot of, without rebooting, probably if we pull the ground from the pin, and that's it. Okay, so let's set this up for a capture. We will start overwrite. Oh, it's not there. I think let me go make that file first. I don't even have a temp folder, so it should be fine now. Start overwrite. All right, so then we'll pull the pin on the ground and reboot the thing. All right, so she's rebooting. I don't know if you see the output when it's doing the capture. I don't think you do. I thought that was kind of unfortunate. I was like, well, show me that why you capture. So it's capturing, but it's capturing in hex, it looks like. I think what we'll do, we'll just copy and paste it, right? Unless I did, oh, I didn't capture as hex. See, I was testing y'all and you didn't do it. All right, so let's see. Let's reboot her again. Okay. And all right, so there it is. So that's what it did booting up. And then just for, we will turn it on. We'll turn it off, even though these work. But we'll just make sure, I just want to make sure the exact packets are going to come up, and we'll turn it back off. Okay. So we'll stop the capture, and so let's see if we can break this apart now. So it may have caught some from when before we rebooted. And y'all can see all this, right? Yep. First header and Wi-Fi. I wonder if I did catch that. You know, I caught a. I wonder if I should have. I should probably have started with. Let's just do that. What I'm gonna do is pull the ground, and I'll start the. Because I think I caught some of the previous while it was up. So let's just do this. Start overwrite. It should be empty. And then we'll boot up. This, I want to see it straight. Now I want to make sure I'm not getting a heartbeat packet from the other one. Look at y'all with their little tricks. I'm trying to do it the hard way, right? So I'm setting the dimming level a couple times. I'm gonna go full brightness. I'm gonna go down brightness, and then we'll turn it off. And we'll stop the capture. We'll reload it. So it does start 0, 0, 0. Zero. I wonder if that might be just an error or something when it's pulling up. So what do you say? Extended mode enabled? Where are you doing extended enabled? Extended mode enabled, Sinister. I got the look and search replace. Ah, okay. There you go. Find what? Let's see. Where was your comment? You were doing /r/n 555A. No, you were doing 55A. I get you doing a be 55 capital A, right? And then we'll replace that with where were you at? Yeah, /r/n 55AA, and I'll wait just to make sure that I had this right. So I'll let the YouTube's delay catch up. Fine, 55. Yep. Do replace all? We won't save it in case it messes up. We can always do it again, right? Let's see. Boom. There you go. Sweet. Make the computer work for us, right? So let's figure out these packets. Yeah, Control Z if it doesn't work. So before we lose this, we'll say, let me save it as capture formatted. Okay, we got the previous copy to work on in case. So now I wish I had two screens for y'all to be able to see, right? Let me flip this back. And we don't need this guy anymore for now. So we know the heartbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 zeros and a FF. So I wonder if it, man, if it is just the heartbeat, that's gonna be crazy if it's just that. I done lost my. So with me are 8. I think is what it was. Yep. So this is just, that's just the heartbeat right there. So so we'll go ahead and figure out these packets. That's the heartbeats. And I can tell you this by just looking at it. The 0E and the 0D, because E is, of course, 1 higher than D. This is actually the on packet. And then this is the off packet. And these, because I can see these IDs, these are going to be dim value packets. And this one was also a dim value packet. 0304. Yeah, I guess I should make this bigger so y'all can see it. Sorry about that. Speak up. So explain how you know the dim value is, if we look at, I'm looking at this previous code that I did. This is way back in August or October last year. This was when I first put in that Tuya Dimmer in the pull request. And I had to modify the Tasmota light driver. And you can see I was just doing serial writes and matching it up with this exact dim value. Is you can see here's the 55, here's the AA, you've got the 06, 08, 03, 02, 04, and then there's like 6 zeros, I believe. And then you have DD, which if you converted that into decimal, that's going to be your dimming value of 0 to 255. And then this F3 was just a checksum of all the bytes in this packet mod 256. So it's just a simple little checksum that if the packet gets corrupted, it verifies each packet. It's not like any crazy, kind of like your cycle redundancy check 32s like you'll see on different like compression stuff for or like an MD5 or something like that. But of course, this is just one hex value. So it's just a check. And much like in little useless piece of information, in if you ever tracked a package in with I know several you have with UPS, You know, you see like the 1Z number. The actual last digit of the tracking number is a check digit that makes sure that you typed in the tracking number correctly. So it's just the last digit. It's a check digit of the tracking number. Some useless UPS knowledge. So I wonder what these packets are here, because these aren't heartbeats. These are gonna, I think these are gonna be our key to figure out these. So we've got a 0, 1. See, if you can't learn anything about hex, I can teach you something about checksum packets and UPS tracking numbers, right? 0, 8 and a 0, 3. So we need 1, 2, 8, and 3. I did work there for many years, but I don't. UPS has a bigger lawyer staff than I want to deal with, so. Let's see. So, see, I don't have any stickers to do any sticker giveaway. I knew Doc was doing those, and I didn't see him here tonight. Does he make those, or does he buy them from somebody? Like, you know, I'm just out of curiosity, to be honest with you. Let's see. Oh, okay. Because I do actually have oh, Frank sends them. I do have two vinyl cutters here that wife does, and we could actually make y'all some plaques and stuff in wood, right? That'd be another cool thing to do. So what are we looking at? Y'all got me situated up. Yeah, well, I've got the wife has two of them here as well. She's got a Cricut and a Silhouette one. So we're looking for. We know what the 0, 0 looks. What's the 0, 1 do? Let's see. Let's close this. Sticker mule, probably. Where he gets his stickers from? Shuffles them across the border. 0, 1. It's querying the product information, looks like. So sent by the Wi-Fi module. Ah, okay. So this is querying the product information, and then it's going to send back. Here's it sends this. And I believe this was actually one of the later pull requests that I want to say it's Chaos Master on the GitHub Tasmota. He took it a little further. And brought it into I think Theo put it into a different driver, and then Chaos Master took and added support for other dimmers and whatnot. Oh, sorry about that, Hugh. So I thought I blew the screen up so y'all could see it. So scroll back up the command word table. Skip the silly stickers. I can make my daughter make the stickers, Tim. Give her something to do, right? So it sends this 5AA0001. This is what exactly we were showing. That's to query the product information, which is exactly this one. 5AA00. Looks like it's a little different. No, it's got 3 zeros. So this is query MCU product info. Okay. So what that one is, stick with me here. Oh, she already does. She was making shirts and stuff earlier, so I'm not sure who she was making shirts for. And she had the heat press going, the whole 9 yards. So my wife had taught her some of that. So yeah, okay. So it's looking at the probably because they use this. I have seen some of the Tuya modules and some low power consumption, like some motion sensors that are battery powered. Special network configuration. So no, we're not going to be in the network configuration. So it would come back and tell it a 0. Okay, so that's good. We need to know what the next packet is. What is a 02? So I'll make sure and view it on this screen. Let's see if we can find the 02, right? Querying the working mode of the set Wi-Fi module. So even the Wi-Fi module sends the command word 02 to query the working mode. That's going to be our key, I believe. The working mode instructs how to show the Wi-Fi status and how to reset the Wi-Fi status and how to reset the module. Cooperative processing by the MCU and Wi-Fi notifies the MCU of the current Wi-Fi status over serial port. Processing, there it is, of the change status of the LED indicator. Triggers a reset when it detects the GPIO is at a low level for more than 5 seconds, okay? So there's the 02 sent by the Wi-Fi module, querying the working set reported by the sent by the Wi-Fi. For example, the Wi-Fi module sends 55AA0002 cooperative processing, or for processing indicate the I connected report the Wi-Fi status. When the Wi-Fi module detects the MCU restarts, the Wi-Fi status is changed. Y'all stick with me here. This is a lot to wrap your mind around, right? Based on the Wi-Fi status indicated by the command word, the MCU controls blinking of the Wi-Fi indicator. The following table describes the 6 states in protocol 03. Okay. So there's the 03. Okay. Did I get the right doc file back up? Nope. Smart, okay. So Wi-Fi is configured how, so I wonder if we would just have to send the device connects to the router and cloud, which is the 0. We should see the status value of this one, I would think, right? The Wi-Fi is configured and the device, the indicator is steady on. So I wonder if it's sent state, it would seem the same, wouldn't it to you? The state 4, Wi-Fi is configured and the device connects to the router. It's probably jumping from state 4 then to state 5. So 0x04, and again, this is the 03. Yeah, I think it was that first packet. Who's networking? Look, here it is. So that's what it's doing. It's right here. It's showing state 02, state 02. There's 2 packets the same, and then the state 03 and state 04. It looks like, right? Or am I just being an idiot? Let me flip back. Got too much going on. I wonder why I went to state. Oh, look, here it is. Wi-Fi is configured however device fails to connect. Oh, okay, so that was probably trying to connect at first. And then the Wi-Fi is configured device, so it sends state 3 and 4. Okay. So sit tight because we're going to try to make a bigger mess. We're going to hook up this guy here. I should have had him hooked up from the get-go. And we'll pull up a console and we'll see if we can fix it might just be this one packet. And we'll do a serial send on the console. Kind of like if Will remembers from the other night, we were messing with that switch with the other guy. He had like a 4 relay switch that was using like a different MCU like this. Just give me a second here. Throw this guy into the let's see. Yep. Almost there. We got to tie back in. Oh. Makes it nice. Those Wago, I think I'm saying it right again, the Wago connectors. If everybody's curious, that was the you didn't see them the other night, like a kid in a candy store on these things. So they have what's kind of cool is that you see, let's see, I'm backwards here. Well, I should show it on here, this camera, right? Well, I don't have that one on. But the little Wago connectors, they just have a little door. And you shove the wire in, and that's it. So I know some of you everybody else probably seen those things before, but I thought they were kind of cool. I know they've been telling me to get some, and finally I bought some and used some because I was having a problem in a box and had a lot of stuff going on. And wow, they're much pricey. They're a lot more pricey than a. I have a chart too. As a 4 gang wall pad gang is incorrectly more like 2 gang has been made track. Oh yeah, I did talk to him earlier, so there's actually was showing you could do it with rules, but I'm not sure he was knowing how to set it up right. You could do serial sending or serial receive on some rules, and you set up 4 relays, and you just have 4 fake relays get controlled. So let me plug this in here, and we'll get this other dimmer going. And I almost did it. Almost did it. I almost yelled out to turn on to my voice assistant. All right. So I don't want to move stuff in case I end up tearing something up, but I have that other dimmer going. I'm waiting to see what the IP address it pulls up as. There it is. And I'll drag it over. 1010. Okay. Safe equal on headset. All right. Let me see if I can drag this around without it going full screen on us. Oh, safe for you, you're on a headset. Gotcha. Okay. So I'm toggling. I can see it's working fine, and you can see some of the. This what I've done in here is this is at the same. This is the same exact dimmer we took apart. So, and I've just gone through and set it as Tuya Dimmer, and I'm gonna have to change the screen. So let me resize this browser to here. That way I'll get the scroll bars for you. So I've changed the RX and the TX for this module. It's much like the Costco one that they showed in the Tasmota wiki. And then I've turned on under configure logging and turned under the web log value, turn on more debug, and you'll get the different packets when you have the Tuya Dimmer module. So if you have one, it's kind of cool to see. You can see the packet it sends to turn it off, and then you'll see the packet it receives, and so you can kind of see both sides of it. Exactly what we were looking at in the RealTerm. So if I remember, it was, and Will may help me out here. It was serial send 5, I think we were using that day. So like right now, let me turn this light on. Power 1 on. All right. So right now, I just saw the red LED flickering on and off, and I wish once we will put it on there. So serial, yeah, serial send 5, and let's just try and send this packet across that it has state 4. We got a red light on, so let's see what happens with it. I hope we'll see what it does. Normally it'll cycle off and on. Oh, look, you notice how it says Wi-Fi LED set acknowledged. So I wonder if he did have it cycling. I may have to dig through the driver. Oh, see, the red LED just went off. So we sent over, receive back. Yeah, and see that the light just triggered back off. Let's see. And the red LED is back on. Hell, I wonder if we just send it back in that same order. I don't know. No, it's the red LED is on. It just went off. And it came right back on. And it has anything to do with that Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi checking connection thing. Oh, I use Android Touch Portal app. Okay. Free stream, that wouldn't be a bad idea. So I wonder if we would just send these across. Let's give it a shot, right? It's not going to break anything. We'll just reboot it if we have to. See, it keeps doing an RX Wi-Fi LED set ACK. And I'm not sure if that's part of the driver. Let's take a look. Tasmota wiki. Let's do a search. That is in the Tuya Dimmer module. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking too. So this is actually in the Tasmota code on GitHub, and you can see there Wi-Fi Tuya Wi-Fi state equals Wi-Fi state. So it's doing this. Wi-Fi state. Oh, it's in case smart config Wi-Fi manager. Okay, so they were doing it based on trying to see if they were writing anything. Set Wi-Fi to state. Was it saying that? I'll give it a shot, Lynn. We'll see what happens. If it needs to step through it, we'll just see what happens. So let's see what happens when we send this. Serial send 5. Well, there's that packet came RX unknown command. That's going to be the configuration, which we were looking at in the docs previously. How about we save that just in case? And we'll send this one across. Serial send 5. Scroll it back over. Missed the last digit, did I? Yep, sure did. So it failed to checksum. Serial send 5. Look, now see the driver's kicking in. Received a packet, request, it transmitted that 08. I wonder if it's the driver actually doing that of Tasmota. Because see, it sends across that 8007, and then it receives the packet, it gets the dim state of 255. Yep. Where'd my Tasmota console go? Let me close this one. Serial send 5. Still got the red LED. And let me drag this up here. Make this a little easier on me. So we sent this one. We sent the 007. We'll just cycle through them, right? I think the driver is messing with us. So, because it's fighting us, it's doing something else with the LED, and it may not be correct. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because the LED is still doing its flickering thing. So, I wonder if I might step through the code. That'd be That's one of those things I may do offline, and we'll see if we can step through the code. I can step through the code and come back. 'Cause I don't know exactly everything when they changed all this in the driver and redid everything. I may actually do is compile, try to force the change flickering. I don't know. You want to find another command? Try and break the Tuya factory module. Oh, you're talking about pumping in packets on the other one? We can do that. I think you can send. You should be able to send in RealTerm. There you go. Send numbers. Send ASCII. Can you send hex? Yeah, because I don't see the other one flickering at all. It does like a breathing thing of the white LED. Let's see if we can turn something here and y'all can kind of see it instead of doing this in the blind. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna end up dropping everything. I can be able to see it. So let's figure out how we send. Let's see if we can send a off command. Well, it's on. It's on. Let me see if it's on or off right now. So we're back on the cloud one, or the one that's soldered up, and see if we can make it, break it, and get it to flicker, and then we'll try to unflicker it. Right? Yeah, it's turned off right now, and it turns on. You can see the pack. So it turns, it's white, it goes solid white when it's on. And that's crazy. I don't even know if the other one, when I turn it on, the one that has Tasmota on it, yeah, I don't even get the white LED because it is in a mode, and I think what's happening is that Tasmota driver's fighting us. It's in a mode thinking that it's an access point mode. So I think what I'll end up doing is later on I'll find my older code I did back in August and flash it to this, and doesn't have that driver, and I can have exact control of those packets just to see. But let's just see if we can break this guy. What's up, Dominique? Let's see. We will do. How about we do that query thing and see if we can get a bunch of information back? Can we send in hex is the thing. I've never sent across. Do you see where it says send hex? Yeah, that's basically, Will, I would take my code I did from way back that didn't have that Tuya driver with the Wi-Fi LED, because Chaos Master took it forward and made it where it actually auto detected the dimmer ID, and if it could, it would do the query and grab that information back. Then he added this. There's a couple set options in Tasmota as well, and so it worked out pretty good. And but it does have that with the Wi-Fi LED and make the light be red, etc. Oh yeah, since the board you have isolated can't talk to the main Wi-Fi board, it's gonna do strange things. It possibly can. Let's see what happens. See, I don't think it allows us to send hex though, because it's trying. There's an end of line. There's carriage return, line feed, before, after. So I don't think you can send actually hex with. I don't know if I see it sending it or not. Yeah, I don't think it is. So, I sent the video. What's the video of? Should I click it? Let's just see what happens, right?
In this video, we will show you how to send hex text on a serial port terminal or any other terminal for that matter.
I took over my chat window. Pop out chat. Yeah, what? I think it's 10:30 now. It's been an hour and a half. Fork in the road. We try to send the hex. I don't know if that's going to do us anything, do us good. I think what I'll do is I'll compile that code and see if I can do it that way. And I will definitely we'll do another stream and show how it's done if it does indeed fix it. But this was cool. We were able to reverse engineer. This just shows exactly how I was able to reverse engineer this thing in the first place. I did exactly this. Was hook up RealTerm and pulled the packets and just went through the packets and everything. So that's how we did everything. So yeah, we can. I got something else we can do real quick before I have to jet. If y'all want to see if we can break something. I haven't upgraded my production environment of Home Assistant off to 0.91 yet. I do have, let's see. I do have my dev environment is, let me get this out the way. I do have a dev environment as 992. But it's the development Docker container. That one may have an update as well. Yeah, it does have. Oh, so you want to try and just send that real quick? If you want to figure that out, I'm gonna see if I can break something here. I'll update my container for my dev environment. See if we can break it here. Just click send numbers. Okay. That would make sense. That would make sense of how to do it. I don't know what version this is. We'll find out. Looks like it's the same to me. Stay and change the version number. That was in development. And let's do that before we do that. So let's see if we can query. Well, this one would be disconnected, I believe. This 03 one, right? Hey, Idaho Joe, that's unraid. 0x55, 0xAA. I'll go back and upgrade my thing in a second. My production one. All right. Do we need the spaces in it, I wonder? Probably have to have the spaces for it to pick up, right, huh? It's still showing white. I wonder if it's really going to flip out. I don't see it doing anything. I can see it flickering when I do that. Not the LED on the unit itself. Matheson became kind of a, I think the driver's fighting this on, like we set it another way and then it's picking up and then, let's see, you want to try a different string? What I don't want to do is kick it off the network. Zero X. That's a good idea. So it is currently in the on state. Let's see. It is already on, so we'll send the off value. And that's a make sure this works. Somebody's probably going to say, oh, we'll do a find and replace on this, and it'll just copy and add in the space and all that. You won't have to keep banging on the keyboard. The other one was pretty cool, though. I spaced all that out. I'm going to have to remember that one. I like that one. I was not picking on you. I was picking on myself. Has a literal send option. Okay. Let's just see if this will send this off packet. Delete, paste. Has a literal. Oh, so I should do literal? Because it did not turn off. So that's it is not turning off. So I don't think it's going to send ASCII. It does not like either of that, Will. Trying to send that through there because it's not even toggling off. It's not listening. Unless it's just not being able to, I can still control it over the cloud. So, and you can see the values come across. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna, well, what I'll do is I'll compile the other one I did without that driver, and I can be able to send straight to it. So before I did say I was going to try and break something. So let's just see if we can break let's see if we can, while we chit chat, I'll update my container here of my production. So what switches are connected to, right? So what switch? There's same model switch. One of them, of course, is together, and the other one is apart, of course. So it's just the ESP8266 and the microcontroller. And we're sniffing the stock one with this FTDI. Well, we're using the Node MCU voltage regulator because the FTDI one I had wasn't powering up enough. It kept doing disconnects and connects. So that's what we're doing there. So yeah, Node MCU power supply over the same USB bus. And I did not plug them into my laptop. The sacrificial lamb would be the USB bus on the LCD screen. I can replace that for cheaper. So let's see if Home Assistant died on me or not. No, we're alive. Yep. So I was just showing, there's my production. I don't think there's anything crazy in here. I've got some MQTT stuff. Yep. And I think that's from ESP Home stuff. So we are all good. So my thing is a big mess, by the way. So yeah, I think we could have used that. I'm just looking at something. Yeah. Okay. So if anybody hasn't seen the Unraid, this is the Unraid Docker setup that I use. So what are you talking about, Will? I don't have like 500 badges like the doc has. I don't normally even use the GUI. We use automations and some voice commands. I'll go all week without using the GUI. I'll pull up the GUI every once in a while and look at it. I'll probably look at. Actually, don't look at. I probably look at Grafana more than I do the GUI. But for Grafana, I'm looking at stuff from my Edge router, and now I look at the Unify controller a good bit, trying to get IP addresses. But look at Grafana, looking at every once in a while, look at cable modem values and some speed test stuff every once in a while. So let's see. Oh, we had this in massive size, right? Grafana. Yes, this is one thing I look at it's in massive size, but in Grafana, and then some stuff I look at in Home Assistant is look at the whole home power monitoring stuff, and of course this is not fitting right on the screen, but like it normally is because I have it zoomed in. But I don't know if they show my IP address and stuff on the Edge router, so I'm not going to click that one on screen. I have a bunch of values on Unraid as well, like drive size and Docker memory usage and stuff. And then a little Python script I wrote that drops to MQTT, which does the cable modem signals over time, like your signal noise ratio, the downlink and uplink power values. And it just scrapes it off the HTTP side of the cable modem. So, so I know we didn't get to completion on it. So still debugging the idle state, Mathis. What's going the wattage, or is this not going to idle, or what? Let's see if I can pull up. I know I had that automation. I hadn't posted my other ones in here yet in a while, but I know I had the automation in there. There's the sensors. So that you're gonna have to play with. See, that's the dryer I did, and here's the washer. What's your wattage showing on your washer when it's just sitting there? Because see, mine was a little different. I had to put, of course, it could be based on with your plug or whatnot as well. Is I had to do for mine because I found it had a really long soak cycle at times, and so it does delay. It makes sure that it was below 5 watts for 5 minutes. So if yours is, oh, weird. You may have to find a common thing in there because you don't have to get it exactly that low because you don't have to get it exactly that low. Yeah, I'll post that link to you, Radio Nerd. You don't have to get it that low, because typically the washing machine. Let's just look at that. I just had one. They were doing laundry earlier. Home Assistant, and here was that's the dryer. The nerd in me wants to click on the dryer and show y'all something, but so, oh, that's amps. My bad. Here's washer watts too, on the other side. Let me drag this guy over. So you can see that 5 watts for 5 minutes. I was probably being conservative because trying to run it too tight. But like even it sat here from 1254 to 1257, so it sat there for 3 minutes. That was probably that soak cycle on this one. But most of the time, anytime it's running, and see, I did mine. I found mine was like sitting at 6 watts. Whenever the water was filling, it was sitting at 6 watts. Like I want to start at the very beginning when it started the cycle. You can see, well, that jumps up really big. Well, it's like it started up, but see, it even goes below. Mine even goes below as well. So you may just have to find some different values to stay stay between that. Yeah, watts will change depending on which cycle the washer's in. Yeah, definitely calibrate the plug, and I did show in the video, or you can just Google the I think it's Tasmota POW, for the power monitoring one, and you can do like set. I think I want to say it's like set voltage and set and it's like power set or something like that. It's in the wiki, and you can use any. You don't have to get it exact science. It just depends on what you want to do. I'd showed using a wattage meter, but you can I find a bulb or something like that. It's usually pretty linear. So, but yeah, and it's something you're gonna have to mess with. That's gonna be every dryer. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit. You can sit in front of the washer, right? See, you could sit. You could sit in kind of next to the washer and like maybe watch a show or something. But you probably just need to look at the fill cycle, and because the fill cycle is probably not going to be using a whole lot, and you don't you don't want to go the other route where it's picking up some little wattage when it's not doing anything and some spikes of some sort, and then you start getting false notifications that your laundry is going. So I think I had to extend mine to 6 minutes, and the only downside, the further you extend that out, is of course, like we can hear the washing machine little buzzer go off, but then it has to wait for it to be that long, so we may not get the notification about the washer being done, you know, for another 3 to 4 minutes sometimes. So, but the nerd in me, being a data analyst of sorts, I thought it was kind of cool on the dryer ones. Now this one's not as noticeable, um, but it is a gas dryer, by the way. I know some people are going to ask. But you can actually tell at the beginning it was using like 5.3 amps. 5 point, well, and then here's the spikes are going to be the igniter for the gas. But it's kind of cool that you can actually see at the end it was pulling 5 amps. And so you can actually, in the dryer, you can actually, especially with towels that are really heavy, you can actually see the load get lighter as it dries in the dryer. That's kind of cool. So yeah, if my goal when I was doing the dryer and the washer was I wanted something simple and just to be able to plug it in. And I know that the laundry washer and dryer is, you know, sacred ground sometimes for the wife or significant other. And so if you break the washer, you break the dryer, that's just going to be bad news if you start hacking wires into it. So that's kind of what I was looking for. I wanted something where it was just easy to plug in and leave it plugged in. And so power monitoring was, and then that's when a lot of people, hey, I don't have a gas dryer. Well, that's when I did the other one with that little DIY solution. We're doing the power clamp on one of the legs of the dryer. So, um, no, did froze for a little bit. I don't know why I did that, but definitely a good idea on the to clean out that dryer, the fire hazard, to get too much lint. So, um, what else, guys? There's just a few of us hanging out in there. We'll see if we can cut it off before we were right at almost 2 hours. So, if y'all don't have anything else, yeah. Well, I know we didn't get exactly to the finish line, but maybe we'll pick it up again and see if I can mess with it tomorrow. Why'd you open and clamp on the inside? Idaho Joe, that is a good question. I don't know if I can share the picture. I would want to check his permission first because I'd have to pull his name up as well in Discord. But you don't. Some dryer cords or they're not like a regular cord where they're sheathed inside, you know, where you've got the 3 wires like inside or 4 wires inside. You can actually see like an extension cord. I don't have one here. But like, you know, you can see an extension cord and you can actually, if you're careful and not cut into you can actually take and split. And someone sent me a picture of the same thing. What they did is they carefully sliced in between the two. You could see on theirs had 3 wires, and they carefully sliced in the middle and pulled those 3 wires apart, and just enough so they could put that clamp on just one of the wires, and they never had to open the dryer at all. So that's another way to do it. But it's just like I say, it's going to vary based on everybody's dryer, because usually most of the dryers have the inspection panel that where you can change from a 3-prong to a 4-prong dryer cord. I haven't bought an electric dryer in a while, but I know before you had to buy in the US you had to buy the cord separate. So yeah, Matheson, find you something that has a known value that's pretty close to. Didn't have to do with the phase. Yeah, that was with the electric dryer. You were trying. Yeah, you know, right, correct. You cannot clamp it around all of them. because, and I'll put it in layman's terms, that you keep you clamp it around all of them, it's just going to cancel out. So you're trying to see the draw of the electric on the one leg. And also, and I'll reiterate it again, electric dryers, make sure you test it, and you do put the clamp on, put the dryer on air, like usually that's like air fluff or no heat mode. You want just where the motor is running without the heating element, because otherwise you'll get every time the heating element cuts on and off, you'll get a bunch of notifications saying your dryer's done. So yeah, I'll be honest with you, is someone that is in other countries, how I don't know how their dryer works. I know that a lot of those are already on 220, 240 or whatever it is, how you want to define it. But yeah, we in the US we use the split phased dryers that take the two phases of 120 to combine it and use that for a heating element. Much like they do with the stove. Also, I did see someone that did the same thing with their stove. Yeah, you want to put the clamp on and that's what I was getting at. You want to put it because there's two hots, and you want to put it on the clamp that's the hot, because typically that motor is only on one phase. So you'll need to find the phase that the motor is on. Not in the heating element will be on both phases, but the motor is just typically usually on one phase of that cord. So yeah, I thought about that, William, and because I thought about that, and I know some of them have a four prong that you have the neutral and the ground. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, but would it blow out the? I only had a 30 amp clamp, and I don't know if someone did like say a 100 amp clamp to make sure, not say blow it out, but it just run it out over capacity. So I don't have anything to test that on to see, hey, take a 100 amp clamp and put that on an electric dryer, see if that would work. So on the neutral, but it will work just on the hot. And typically we weren't trying to get an amperage value off of there for, like, say, not power, like say try to do power calculation, but you could. We were just trying to see if the dryer was on or off for the dryer notifications. And I still say that's probably one of a love-hate relationship with that one, but one of my favorites is the dryer telling you the dryer's done. So, and I did also, I can see that because that is an incandescent light inside of ours, and you could actually see if the door's open or not based on the power draw, because I think it pulls like 10 watts when the dryer door is open. So I know we were talking earlier, and I was just looking here at these amps on the whole house. This was actually the heat press that was running earlier from doing the shirts. You can see the heat press cycling. This was the initial warm up of 16 amps, and then you can see it cycling back and forth on that one phase of the house. So, and you can actually see in line the dryer is running at the same time, and you can see the igniter throwing the spikes, looks in there. So, all right, well, we'll see if we can just hit that 2 hour mark, right? We got 30 seconds left. So I'll hopefully follow up with everybody, and I'll compile that code and I'll flash it. I might get time to do it tomorrow. I'm not sure. I got a list of things to do tomorrow, my day off, of course. But we may do another live stream the next day or two, maybe, if I can have success with this, something to bring to you. So, and there we are, 2 hour mark. Hit the record for me. So, all right, well, appreciate everybody watching and hanging out with us, and maybe hopefully you learned something. And y'all have a good evening or a day or whatever time it might be, and y'all take care.